Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
Another Fever dub. Bow, bow, bow. That's right. Salute to you, Leo Boston. So the Indiana Fever has played another tough, gritty game. We've seen the game against Atlanta a couple of nights ago where they had a big lead and they had to hold on to the win to the end to get the game, in which that game was a little bit not energized as much. But come tonight's game, or last night's game against the Connecticut Sun, who the Fever has lost to them 11 straight times. If you think about it, same thing that happened with New York. They haven't beaten New York in quite a while. And the last game of the meeting, they end up beating them. Now, I did say that I think the Fever could beat the Sun because I have watched the Connecticut Sun last few games, and the Connecticut Sun has not looked like a championship team. Now, even though they traded for Marina Mabrey and they gave them some more offensive punch, but there was still something about them that they tried to slow the pace down. They try to beat you up a little bit, keep the game close. And we've seen them when Connecticut beat New York a couple nights ago as well. But nevertheless, the Fever went into this game beating Atlanta. The only game they lost since the All-Star break was the Minnesota Lynx team with Nafisha Carla. But nevertheless, this game right here, I felt if you look at the times that the Fever had played these teams, you really didn't have Temi Finbilly as much. You didn't, Katie Lou wasn't getting, she was still trying to find her way. Lexie Hull was still trying to find her way in the roster. Caitlin was still trying to learn her teammates. So much was going on at that time. They wasn't gelling. Now, if you see them play these teams now, you see how much that the Indiana Fever has really come together and able to hang with these teams, not allowing these teams to blow them out so much how they was getting blown out early in the season. So with that being said, this game was another slow start game. The Indiana Fever ended up turning the ball over in the first few minutes of the game. Two by Nalissa Smith, which, Nalissa Smith, I don't know. She's been a lot of misses than hits these last few games. And to me, I think her playing time should get reduced. She had 19 minutes in this game, but she can't stay out of foul trouble, and she doesn't move her feet. She doesn't run the floor. And that's why you was able to see Temi Finbilly inserted more into the game, because she runs the floor. I said this the last game. I think that Chrissy Side is going to have to make a decision now, and she's going to have to bring Katie Lou off the bench. She's going to have to bring Alyssa off the bench, and you're going to have to assert Temi Finbilly and Lexie Hull. I think Lexie Hull has earned a spot on that roster, on that starting lineup. I think Lexie Hull could run with them teams. She hits corners threes. You put Temi Finbilly in there. She gives you great weak side defensive help. Even when Caitlin's man beat her, she was over there to help. Even when Boston, she was able to help. Lexie, she was over there to help. And you have her and Lexie on the floor at the same time. That's a lot of defensive help. Even Kelsey Mitchell was locking her man down. And that's something we look at this team in the beginning of the season. As I said, they wasn't doing them things. And Chrissy Size, I can't beat her up too much in this game because she did a decent job coaching, even though the third quarter is still the Achilles heel. But she called crucial timeouts. Now, I wish she had did challenge that play. I think in the third or fourth quarter, where no, it was in the fourth quarter, where there was a screen and Kelsey Mitchell went up for three before they called a moving pick, and they was robbed out of that. That would have really gave them a cushion to seal the game at least by 6 points, 6 or 7 points. But she didn't challenge. Now she did challenge one call and won it. The referees in this game was pretty ass, to be honest with you, to say the least. They was pretty ass because there was two calls that they gave a no call, no foul to. You know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless, the Indiana Fever led the whole game until around the third quarter. They lost the lead, but they ended up gaining it right back. Same thing they did with Atlanta. They lost the lead, and then they ended up gaining it right back. And something I'm looking at this Indiana Fever team now is that they don't get down on themselves when they lose a lead. They pretty much stay in the game and stay in the flow. And like Kelsey Mitchell said something really profound, really, really, very, very profound, is that this team is gritty. This team is playing with a lot of swag, and they not allowing teams to bully them anymore. And you start to see it how it's trickling on the court. And that goes the fact where you having Damaris Dantas out there. Now, Damaris Dantas didn't play as much tonight because of how the game was perceived. But she did play 6 minutes. She had one rebound. But if you look at her when she was on the floor, how she seals the defenders off in there. And they was, and you gotta get Connecticut credit because they was trying to turn up the heat in the second half because they was getting annihilated. Because when the Indiana Fever in the first quarter went down 8-2, boom, a switch went off, and they jumped out on them and pushed the pace on them. Caitlin made a lot of spectacular plays behind the back. There was one sequence where her and Dejanay Karen went at it. You know, she went down there, hit a three. Dejanay came back and hit a three. You know, Caitlin was getting the crowd up, and then Dejanay hit a three and told the crowd to hush. And then guess what? Caitlin ended up cooking her on the next play for pull-up, bank shot under the basket. So this game, you could tell it had a playoff atmosphere. And I think right now, with the Indiana Fever, you are not going to come in and just go in there and roll them over. You're not going to do that at all. If you look at the stat, well, before I even get to stat, I'm going to get to some accolades of this team real quick. Leah Boston, congratulations of 1,000 career points in this game. She hit a milestone on that. So, you know, she's a second-year player with the Fever and everything. Kelsey Mitchell, congratulations. You actually had another 20-point game, extending your streak as you know for 20-point games for the Indiana Fever. Her game has picked up a lot. Caitlin Clark broke the 3-point record. But you know she was tied with Ryan Howard, but she broke the 3-point record for a rookie in the season with 86. Then the Fever had 5 players in double figures. 5 players in double figures. You had Kelsey with 23, Caitlin was 19, Lexie was 17, Boston and Alyssa Smith with 10. Alyssa Smith had one of the most quietest 10 points that you could ever register in a game. Like I say, she can't keep herself off the floor for 1 minute. Now, this is where I want to pay homage to 2 people. That's Lexie Hull and Temi Finbentley. And we knew what Temi Finbentley was when she had got that, you know, connection with CC early in the season. And, you know, she missed 2 times with injuries. And like I said, now having her back along with Dantes in the fold, I'd rather see them two. I'd rather move. I hate to say it, but I'll bury a little bit Alyssa Smith and Lex and not Lexie, but Alyssa Smith and Katie Lou gonna have to split time. I will give a little bit more time to Dantes because what she brings to the game. Like I said, she has an inside-outside game. Energy-wise, Tammy Finn-Billy crashes the board. She might not shoot as well, but she could get on the basket. Now this team still continues to miss these layups under there, especially Boston. She's gonna have to get it together with that. But I did like what Boston did because she did it in the game against Atlanta. She started assisting more out the post. See, now this is where the Fever has shown a different element today to their offensive repertoire. We already know that Caitlin Clark could pass the ball. So teams now starting to try to take her passing away from her. Now that gives her more open shots too as well, because you got to pick and choose how you're going to play Caitlin Clark. And you see where if you look at the Connecticut Sun tonight and how they play the Fever the last 3 times, it's totally different because now they have to scramble out to play everybody. You can't focus on Caitlin Clark anymore. And then when you give the ball to Leah Boston in the post, guess what? Leah could take it or she could pass it out. Aaliyah Boston had 8 assists tonight? She had 8 assists tonight. Yeah, she had 8 assists and 6 rebounds and 10 points. But guess what? She had 4 steals. She only had 4 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Now the team did turn the ball over a lot. I hate to say it. The team turned the ball over a lot. They had 19 turnovers. They did say 20 turnovers in the game, but all of them turnovers turned into points for the Connecticut Sun, and there was fast break points. And for you to turn the ball over 19 times and gave up 20, I think 19 to 20 points off of them turnovers and still managed to win the game, that normally does not happen in a game, so hats off to them. They out-assisted them. Now, Melissa Thomas and Caitlin Clark, their assist numbers wasn't high this game. Caitlin had 5 assists, and I think Alyssa Smith had 6. But you knew these teams was not going to allow each other to get their assists off because it would have been a high-scoring game. You know what I'm saying? It just would have been a high-scoring game. And Caitlin's assists didn't start picking up until the second half anyway. So, and with the first half, the Fever led them by 9, and, that got cut down and everything. But, like I said, Lexie Hull, she plays hard on defense. She's been a huge offensive output for this team in the last 4 or 5 games since the All-Star break. You think about it. She was 4 for 6 tonight against the Sun. She was 2 for 3 against Minnesota. She was 6 for 7 against Seattle, and she was 2 for 3 against Phoenix. So in all, she done hit 14 threes in that span. And then the team whole tonight, they was 13 for 30 from 3-point line. Even Erica Wheeler came in and contributed and hit 2 threes. So when you get Erica Wheeler give you get Erica Wheeler to come in and give you a 3 points. She gave you 5 points tonight off the bench. 5 points off the bench. That's the only bench points tonight. Tammy didn't give you no points, but guess what? Tammy was a plus 18 in that game. A plus 18 in that game where she only played 17 minutes. But you look at her defensive impact in that game. That's why her plus minus ratio is high, and she had a block shot. She only had 2 fouls. Erica Wheeler gave you 13 minutes, but she gave you 2 rebounds and 5 points. You don't expect that for Erica Wheeler as much. But you look at the starters, all the starters was in double figures, all of them. Even Lexie had 8 rebounds in this game. That's the thing that you need to look at. This Indiana Fever team has been rebounding a whole lot. They had 35 rebounds tonight. 8 of them was offensive rebounds. So they started to out rebound their opponent in every game because they crashing the board. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to look forward to. They only had 5 steals. Like I said, the Sun had 14 steals, but it's what it is. So now let's take a listen to what Kelsey Mitchell had to say about this team, as they started to get better.
With Kelsey, it's been since 2016 since the Fever have beat. 2021, sorry, not 2016. What happened in 2016?
4 for 24 since.
Oh yeah, 4 for 20. What happened in 2016? I was 14, but anyway, I think it's a big win for us. I don't know. I mean, this is a team that we felt we hadn't really given a game to at all. I think especially here, like we felt like we gave one away, but at the same time, we didn't feel like we played like how we are playing now. And then the 2 games there, obviously, were about as bad as it gets for us as a team this season. So I'm just proud of our group. I thought we came in very motivated, very excited for this game. I thought our crowd was honestly incredible. They were really into the game. Like, that certainly helps us a lot, especially when you need a big stop there at the end. Like, that's huge. It feels like there's another defender on the floor, and I'm just really thankful for that. And even though we didn't score a ton of points in the fourth, like, it was our defense, like I said.
And you hear that because they understand that. Now, I also wanted to play a clip by Chrissy Size, how she was talking to Caitlin after the Atlanta game, and she wants Caitlin to shoot more now. Call me crazy if you want, but it seems like Chrissy Size now realizing she needs Caitlin's offense to keep them in the game. And if you look what Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell has been doing for these last 5 to 6 games, Caitlin's offensive output is needed. She just can't assist because there's a balance with her. She's going to get you in the game, but then you got to understand she's going to take her shots as well. So let me play that for you.
I love the fact that she is just a playmaker first. Like, that's where she is. I love that. But I still, we've had a lot of conversations in the last 24 hours about a lot of shots that she needs to take that she wasn't taking, especially in the fourth quarter of that Atlanta game. And she agreed, but she was kind of with her ankle a little bit, just didn't feel comfortable at times. But those are shots that she needs to take for us in that fourth quarter for us to have an opportunity to get wins.
And that's very, very important right there what Chrissy Size said, because she needs her offensive output. And if you go back to the Atlanta game in the fourth quarter, Caitlin did not she did not take certain shots. And I said that in the last post-game video that I did was, I think Caitlin wanted to manage her ankle. She didn't want to do too much, and she wanted to get some treatment before, because they knew they had a big game against Connecticut last night. So now, but you see Caitlin took her shot, she drove to the basket, and she did her floater again. She started to get more comfortable with that floater, because at one point in the game, I think around the third quarter or so, she came down and split 2 defenders and drove straight at Alyssa Thomas. And then she pulled up with a floater, and Alyssa Thomas was like, dang, what can I do? So you can start to see Caitlin get in her bag more. And the more she get comfortable, the more it's going to be hard for other players. Now, the reporter did ask Lexie Hull about her impact and everything. And I think this was a real funny segment of this interview with Kelsey, Clark, and Hall.
Well, as you did tonight.
Thank you. I would say that's kind of my role.
Respectful.
That's kind of, a reason that I'm out there is to try to make an impact defensively. And I know I was undersized going against DB. And so trying to just be as active as I could, get my hands on as many balls as I could, and take advantage of that. Caitlin? Yeah. We done.
Oh, Lex.
We got a team on
Anyways, soon.
This one's for Kelsey. Just kind of following up on the physicality of this game.
So, but you hear that it's just now Lexie Hull is getting appreciation we all think she already should have to deserve, no matter what. But the takeaway from this game is that the Indiana Fever are, regardless of the small critiques that we continue to do with the coaching and, the adjustments and stuff like that, you can still see this Indiana Fever team starting to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's something that teams are going to be aware about. You're going to have to be aware about. Now, they got another tough game on Friday against the last meeting against the Chicago Sky, who just lost last night. They have lost 5 games in a row. They're going to be up for this game, but you know this game is going to be personal for Caitlin Clark because they're going to want to beat them in their house. You know what I'm saying? They lost to them in their house the last time. Caitlin has beaten her 2-1. Angel Reese, I don't know what they situation going on over there is, but I think now with Tammy Finbelly, Damaris Dantas, Melissa Smith has backup now. So if you think that she's going to get abused under the basket again by what's the girl name? Angel Reese, I think now she got backup because if you look at the game they lost, they didn't have no backup. You couldn't put Katie. You had Katie Lou out there. You didn't really have no other bodies out there to put under there to battle her under the boards. Now, don't know if Trinity Carter's playing tomorrow night or not. You don't know what the status for everybody else. So that's up in the air. Don't worry about it. But I think the Indiana Fever has all their horses now, and it's going to be hard for teams, for this Chicago Sky team to beat them. And the Chicago Sky team does not have a lot of scoring output besides Carter. And if Carter do not play, they do not score points. We will blow them out. We definitely will blow them out. Now, I think this game, just like the Connecticut Sun game, is going to show that the Indiana Fever are a whole totally different team, and they're not the same team. Because now you're going to put somebody, you put Lexie in the starting lineup against whoever she matched. And the thing about it, Lexie, is she was guarding Carrington, Mabry, and DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner did not have a good game at all. You know what I'm saying? She did not have a good game at all. If you look at her stat line last night, DeWanna Bonner only had 13 points. She got shut down. You know what I'm saying? Breonna Jones only had 2 points, played 30 minutes. She got shut down. You know what I'm saying? Alyssa Thomas, 17. Carrington led the way with 19. And the only reason she was running the floor, then Mabry had 16. You know what I'm saying? And Mabry, Mabry fits their system better because if Mabry was on the Sky team, it would have been hard for her to score. You know what I'm saying? The way they run their offense. Now, she's more open. But like I said, it's still something about this Connecticut Sun team that doesn't add up. They're scrambling. But hey, no matter what, we all can say a win is a win. But I can say this. The Indiana Fever are young. They're getting they're getting confident more. And just like Kelsey Mitchell said, they gritty, they got a swag, and they're not allowing teams to bully them. And that's showing up in games now because teams was trying to pump them, push them around. Now you don't see it. You have seen one sequence when DJ Karen tried to stole the ball from Clark and they dove on the floor and they was jerking at each other. But it wasn't, and DJ Karen, she's a talker. She's going to try to talk anyway. But you got to back up your game. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, they got a game on Friday, a game on Sunday before they head into the next week. All in all, give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about the Fever game against the Sun. I think it's probably one of their best games because, You can look at it and say, hey, the game against Seattle was one of their best games. You could look at the game against New York was one of their best games. They beat the Fever 3 straight times, so, you could take that for what it is. And then the Minnesota Lynx, they beat them without Nafisha Carter. So, there's a couple games in this year you could say, hey, this was one of their best games. But I think breaking this 11-game streak from the Connecticut Sun was really important, because now they gained confidence, because you got to think about it. The first meeting this year, they almost beat them. I think it was 84-82, something like that. So they almost beat them the first game of the season. So take that for what you want. But now the NL Fever has arrived, and teams got to take notice. Until then, this your boy Livewire Sports Media, and what I always tell you at the end of the day is what it is.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.